welcome to our podcast, 2 pints of lager and a spreadsheet. That really sets the tone for probably the next 40 minutes of our lives. Really kind of a light-hearted conversation around and bit of reflection on the lessons learned and the wins to celebrate of I guess both your business journey with Newcastle Eagles. So I guess just to get us kicked off, Paul, it's been 28 years, I believe. Is that right?
Yeah, 29, coming into 29, turn of the year. So yes, a long time, a life's work, shall we say?
And what was, all those years ago? What was that motivation? What was the spark that made you want to? I guess not start a basketball club. It's starting a business, isn't it? On day one.
It wasn't. It was basically a conversation in our front room at the time, wasn't it, with a friend of ours who, given the situation we were in at the time, my boss at the time had the opportunity to essentially buy the club for £1 because the football club had reached the end of its tenure with the sporting club, which was the Falcons, Eagles, basketball and Cobras ice hockey. So he was managing the sale of those clubs. I was assisting him with that, and we had the opportunity to take any one of the three, to be honest, via a management buyout. But legitimately the only obvious one was the basketball club, and we were both basketball players at different levels. So we were talking, reached an evening, didn't it, where it was a case of Paul take it on or Paul take redundancy and go and do something else. Possibly could have been working in the football club actually, or continuing to work in the football club in a different guise. But we collectively made that decision, and here we are. 29 years later.
I think we just looked at each other and we're just like, we why not? The opportunity doesn't really come around very often where this is going to be something that you can do. And we were very, very young, relatively speaking, to be doing this.
How old were you at the time? Just
must have been about 9 to do the sums.
Really young.
Yeah.
I think I was. I started there at 26, so it must have been 28 because we did 2.5 years with the sporting club.
Yeah.
Or 3 seasons. Yeah.
Yeah. So sort of young enough to be excited with a bit of experience and maturity, but I guess a bit naive as well to what was lying ahead.
Yeah, naive is definitely
Massively.
the word. So naive is definitely the word. So Sam, it was just me initially working in the club with a friend of ours that was at the sporting club. I'll name the name, a chap called Chris Eek. I haven't seen for quite some time, but so it was literally just the two of us initially, and Sam, you came in about.
I was like two
years later, yeah. And naive is absolutely the word because my background was marketing. Never make a marketing manager a chief exec. The failings were definitely on the spreadsheet side. On the financial side, it was all speculate to accumulate and run into some early problems as a result. But had to learn quickly.
Yeah.
Ultimately, and then Sam is a safer pair of hands than I am. And
Sam, what pulled you into the club?
I think I quickly learned I couldn't work in a big organisation. I worked.
Me and Steve are with you there.
I worked at one of the universities, and I had a really good job. And I found it, I'd say 70% of it was I really enjoyed, and 30% I really struggled. And that was how to be able to be quite, I suppose, entrepreneurial, and how do you change things? How do you bring in necessity? What's the word? I can't even think of it. Needed changes.
Necessary changes.
Necessary, right, sorry.
Yeah.
Changes at the time, and it's really difficult to turn that ship when you're in a big organisation, and I found it incredibly frustrating. Where we are very kind of blue sky thinking people, and certainly I found that really tough. So after a couple of years, I came into the business to drive and support the community programme. And as I explained earlier, that was really from my childhood in swimming, and to give back, pay back what I'd received as a youngster into a sport that suffered with lack of infrastructure to play the sport.
Because you've had a successful career as a swimmer as well, haven't you?
Yeah, so as a junior swimmer, I did okay.
Yeah.
She doesn't like to talk about it. Yeah. Sam went to the 92 Olympics.
Yeah.
As a junior swimmer, I did okay.
I did all right. Didn't win.
Newcastle's
I've got high standards.
Newcastle's first female Olympians.
Yeah.
I'm proud for you.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Like, amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, we were just talking about that before the podcast, and you just sort of threw that in there. Barcelona 92.
Yeah, it was a long time ago. It feels like a different life, in fairness.
Yeah.
But for a kid from Killy, a working class kid, I always look back on that and want other kids from working class backgrounds to have the same opportunities.
Yeah.
And that doesn't necessarily exist across all sports. I think some sports are quite elitist and privileged.
Yeah.
And basketball, number 2 team sport in the country by a long mile, and doesn't receive the resources that it warrants and should have, should be given. And I really, really have an issue with unfairness, especially when it affects kids. And so I kind of joined this merry tribe of a few to try and put something into place that would benefit youngsters coming through.
Just to rewind back very quickly, because I do try to say this when I can. So Jon owned and the football club obviously owned the 3 clubs, and could easily have just walked away from them and let them go, and he didn't. He paid all the debts for the 3 clubs, which gave us the opportunities to start fresh. Yeah. For essentially, ourselves with the basketball for £1. So that, that's the mark of the man, and obviously he's got a great history in this region and with the football club.
I guess everyone probably knows the Eagles and knows of the Eagles. Do you want to tell a little bit more about the community and what that kind of side of the business is?
Yeah, so when I came in, I went to see Paul play a local league game. I couldn't believe you had kids playing in adult local league games. It's just really wrong. It's, it just should never happen. But that's the only way kids could play the sport at the time.
Right. No junior clubs.
There was no, or if there was very few. There wasn't a local league. So what I'd come through as a swimmer, there was a whole pyramid, there was a whole structure. And, there's recreational swimming, but there's also club swimming and all different age groups, and they're supported through competitions, and there's the elite pathway structure, and all of the England programs kick in. And basketball was just didn't exist, and I didn't realise sports would tread differently. I hadn't realised that. So coming into the programme and working with the most amazing people who joined the journey, some who are still at the arena on this journey, and some who now have moved on into the most amazing things that they're doing. We set up junior clubs and education programs, and worked with funders, because everything we do we have to get funding for. Set up our first junior club back in the day.
Year 2000, 2001 maybe. Yeah.
Which,
didn't have anyone to play against.
No.
If you think about it, I don't
Yeah.
quite remember how that.
Well, there was kind of like the odd team, wasn't there? The odd team that we were picked, like the first EGL was 4 teams.
Yeah.
So our first central venue league is Eagles. We had 4 teams in it. And we were able to pick up the like Morpeth with Paul New entered a team.
Yeah, that's right.
So fast forward all those years and all these people who have, joined this incredible journey. We stand with the league at 162 teams. Wow. All Eagles teams from the ages of under 8s through to under 18s. And we also have 10 performance teams on top of that. So today we run 172 junior teams.
Pretty impressive.
I wanted to clap there or do something.
But again, we still have no core funding. So we don't receive core funding to be able to deliver what we do, which is...
Other sports do in different guises, whether it be direct from their, their home country governing body, leagues, foundations and things like that, or government, the Football Foundation, for example, or the Premier League Foundation, or the FA. Yeah. Various potential sources of funding come from those bodies into grassroots sports in different ways. We don't have an equivalent at all.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah.
So we only exist because 1, there's demand, and 2, local people want us to exist. It's the only reason we're here.
And is some of your motivation, I guess, as sports people yourself and now business leaders, I guess a lot of the skills that you've developed came from that early involvement in sport, and is that something that you're hoping to realise through the early stages of the basketball leagues as well?
In terms of our natures, because we played sport, you mean?
Just being involved in that type of environment.
Yeah, we want to pass on. We want to pass on what we both experienced in sport. I think that's fair to say.
Yeah. I always look back at it, and we say this to the 2 senior teams that come in. It's a privilege to be in sport. It really is. And I've got so many amazing memories going back. And like I say, a kid from Kelly travelling the world was pretty amazing. That to be able to pass on in some shape or form, may it be community cohesion element to what we deliver, with kids from right across the region coming together on a weekly basis has such a power and impact. Kids who would never have made friendships come together, and families as well, parents, along with the education and courses and potential employment opportunities that we deliver. It's just really special when you walk through those doors. And if you go in on a Saturday and Sunday when the league's on, it takes my breath away. It really does. The fact that you look down and then you've got potentially like 16-year-old kids, 15-year-old kids actually refereeing and table officiating or coaching, and they're giving back to the sport, and they're being leaders in their own right. That power is incredible. And it's both male and female. It's mixed, and that's really important as well.
And they're all re-registering this week, aren't they, for the clubs for the season just about to start? And we reached about 2,300 in the clubs last year, and they are literally, as Sam says, they're from all backgrounds across the region.
Yeah, it's wonderful. It's really cool. And I guess because everyone comes into the arena for the league, it's a central venue, they all get used to each other, so they all see each other all the time. Yeah. So they all know each other. So their age groups, like under 16s, 14s, they're around each other every week. So unlike home and away fixtures and families. So unlike home and away fixtures where you probably see them once or twice in an entire season, you kind of don't really get to know each other. It's very, very different. So yeah, it's just a really cool environment, I would say, that's being created. But that's off the back of so many people actually wanting to be part of this and seeing it and actually getting it, kind of wanting to come through those doors on a weekly basis.
Yeah, amazing. We were talking earlier as well about how Newcastle Eagles is much, much better known across the region now than it was all those sort of years ago. The most decorated team in British basketball history, I think.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, wow. So I'm sure you've got so many moments of success. Is there any particular one that just sort of jumps
I know
out?
exactly what he's going to say.
Do you?
I think I do.
I think your memory sort of gets washed away with wine, doesn't it? Over the years, but it's 28. It's 28 trophies, so we're several trophies ahead of the next team. I think from the winning point of view, the first time we went to the O2.
It was amazing.
Is that the one you? That's the one you mean.
Yeah.
The first time we played a final at the O2, 16,000 at the O2. That was like a real step on, and we won that game as well, which is great.
Against London.
Against London, yeah. We've been a couple of times since and not won. We lost the playoff final this year against Leicester. So that felt like things had changed a little bit, and listen, it's like we've been to 31 finals, haven't won them all, and won the league a few times. It's just crazy to think that we've been to that many finals.
Yeah,
I can't quite put that. I can't verbalise that really. It's a lot, and it's a lot to remember and reflect back on.
I'm curious, Paul, when you said something had changed, what was it specifically that?
It was like our little club.
Yeah.
Our little club's gone to London and played in this massive venue where Elton John plays and others.
I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it.
Oasis, more to the point. So it was a just one that really stands out in the memory. The first couple we won as well. Obviously, the first ones are really defining, as it just happened with Newcastle United last season after such a long time. It's
goosebumps again.
Yeah, definitely. But then equally, I think some nights at the arena, for all the years we were at the arena, where we had some really big crowds in.
Yeah. I was going to say the one that we didn't win, but I am incredibly proud, was the women's team. Not last season before, at the O2.
Yes,
it was
that was amazing. Yeah,
honestly, that was just phenomenal. You talk about hard.
Yeah,
that was amazing.
Against
they
a much bigger budget team.
Off and didn't I was just amazing. If you ever want to show youngsters how to go in there fearless, and actually just take on a team, that was the game to show.
And I've got
it was incredible.
Which will make you laugh. The opening night at the new venue.
Oh no!
For all the wrong reasons, really, because we didn't do a soft launch because we ran out of time. We couldn't do a soft launch.
We were literally pushing the cherry picker out the doors 5 minutes before we were opening them.
Yeah, we had guys, because we have carpet around the show court, and obviously in the week it's just a 3-court hall. One of our number one fans, a chap called Les Harris, was cutting that carpet into shape around the court.
That was just amazing.
10 minutes before the doors were opening. We had 300 in hospitality for the first time. We'd never sold a can of Coke.
No.
Ourselves, we'd never done any F&B prior to that.
Never mind a 2-course meal.
Yeah, we didn't. We
hadn't even tested the kitchen. It was just we're going to have to.
We're just going to have to do it. And actually, broadly speaking, it all went really well, didn't it? We collapsed at the end.
We did.
Of course. We did. But that was looking back at that now. We lost the game.
We did. It was
just frustrating.
I know.
There's nothing to do with the carpet.
I think everyone was just so emotional.
Yeah.
I really do. I think that the fact that we had our own building, there was so many of the team who'd been through all the years and seen what we've built. I think everyone was just emotionally drained come that night.
I think they were, yeah.
But I think testament to the club and the foundation, the first to take the court was the young players in a pre-game clinic with all the CVL All-Stars.
Yeah.
and there was about 200 youngsters who came in for 2 hours prior to that game. So they were the first to see it and all its match night setup.
Yeah.
That's how it should be.
Definitely.
You know, share it.
Yeah.
No Everton football ground soft launch. Yeah.
I guess culture's talked about a lot in business, and you've probably mentioned a few bits there, but how's culture impacted the club as it's kind of grown, and how's it evolved as you've come through the years?
I think it's changed a bit over time. I think this can always be a bit reflective of the people at the top, and I've always been early days probably quite wound up, overly driven, and that then cascades down in the wrong way sometimes, and I'd like to think I'm a bit less that now. And Sam, you're not that. You've always been. I think people say I am rational. I don't, and not hot-headed, but sometimes I can be. Whereas you're.
It takes a lot for me to get hot-headed.
You're very rational and talk things through the right way. You're a lot better at that than I am.
I appreciate that.
It's all right.
But you're far more strategic than me.
Yeah, well, it takes all skills, doesn't it?
That's it. I think that's teamwork, isn't it?
Yeah.
And on and off the court, you need different skills and different individuals doing different things to the best of their ability. If we're all the same, then myself and Steve talk all the time. We're different, in the way we behave in certain situations. Steve will lead certain clients, Steve will lead on, and vice versa, and that's what makes a good senior management team, doesn't it? So yeah.
I think we're collectively as a group of staff, and ironically in the business that we're in, I wouldn't say we're amazing collectively at planning and strategy, but I think we're really good at crisis management. And that comes with events anyway, because there are things in
also
events
we're
you
really
can't plan
tough.
for.
But also we're really tough on ourselves. We really are. We're really tough.
Yeah, beat ourselves up all the time.
We are very driven.
Stubborn.
Incredibly stubborn. Please tell us we can't do it.
That's a good one.
But I would say in terms of culture, we've always wanted to have somewhere that people feel a sense of belonging and welcome, and to share something that's really special. I think that's kind of what we've always wanted to aspire to be, really, from match nights to coming through the doors at any point. And I hope that comes across. Yeah,
it definitely does. I think myself and Steve were both introduced to basketball through, I think it was business networking. We went along to, a game, and it was through a business context. And now we both are there with our families. That's how it's kind of evolved. And that for me, that's the culture of the basketball club, is that family community kind of feel that you get. And one of my highlights, personal highlights, was when the sort of cup came back this season just gone, and my daughter Florrie was a mascot in that game, and she sort of she's a confident 7-year-old, and she was like, right, I'm off, and I'm going to do a cartwheel. In that particular night, it was a full house, it was bouncing, there was lots of energy, and I was like, nah, there's no chance she'll do that. And she ran on the court and did a first cartwheel, slipped, but held it, and then did another one.
Wow.
That's amazing.
And it was like, but that's the opportunity that she was being given.
She'll remember that forever, won't she?
Forever, yeah. And
kind of joined the mini E's for a while, by sounds of it.
Yeah, exactly. But a lot of sports, when you're talking about being elite, you don't get that opportunity. It was like, it was just literally
you be you.
Yeah. Off you go and kind of get on with it.
But that's really nice. Important to us, the whole community feel of the event, and making sure that we can get supporters close to the players, close to the action. That's what we can do at this stage in the evolution of basketball. We can still do that, so we want to hold on to that as long as we can.
Yeah, Yeah.
I guess we've talked a lot about the highs. Is there any particular bumps in the road that
No.
that jump out
Never
of last
lows.
years?
No bumps.
Working in sport is an absolute roller coaster. There's no two ways about it. I mean, as it is in all business, but this type of business is like the best way to explain it is it's a small business, but it's extremely lateral. Merchandise and sponsorship, ticket sales, team management. The list just goes. Houses, cars, gas and elect. The list just goes on and on and on and on. And we could be dealing from F&B. You're dealing with this at 11 o'clock and this at 10 past 11, and the two things have zero connection. So it keeps your mind alive.
You have
of
got
course,
you've got to know everything about this business. Yeah, you've got to be across all of it.
We don't have a big enough staff hierarchy really for what we're doing. We should probably have double or triple the staff that we have.
Yeah.
We make it work and we'll continue to grow. But it's as we were talking about before, in pro sports, the vast majority of the funding that's generated goes to the team because ultimately, at the top end, you're just trying to beat the team down the road. And if they get better than you, there's a worry that you lose and you're not going to sell the same number of tickets or the same amount of sponsorship. Then you can't invest that back into the team and you're on a downward cycle, and there's always that fear. So we're right on the sharp end of what we all understand theoretically as competition in business. It's like, multiplied by whatever.
The man I notice every match day is Dan, because I think every small, medium-sized business needs Dan, because and I'm sure, I think it goes through the culture of your team that he's doing everything, isn't he? He's here, he's there.
Tech. He's tech, so he's literally, if something goes wrong, he's got to get somewhere to sort the tech out.
Yeah. And he'll be stood there doing an interview 1 minute, and then he's down on court doing something, and I'm like...
The screen's gone off, or
there's
a problem with the internet.
Then he's pulling a pint. It's just like... Yeah.
I've never seen that man.
No, he hasn't.
He does from time to time.
Now and again.
I mean, you're absolutely right. We're all multitaskers. Dan's a significant multitasker.
We were talking about that on the way over, weren't we? We just had a meeting with the outreach and club teams just to actually talk about this season, and we came out of that, I think, in crumbs. Dan's got a long list off the back of that.
And his knowledge with the ticketing system is
phenomenal,
off the charts. So he's actually an IT graduate from Newcastle Uni,
right?
Who's ended up in marketing and sales because that's what he loves. I'm sure he could have made a lot more money in IT, to be honest, because he's very
smart.
Very, very smart. Yeah.
Feeling R&D tax credit claim coming on here.
Well, arguably. I mean, he wrote our CRM system during COVID because we couldn't find a product that off the shelf that worked for the foundation.
He volunteered to write our CRM system. We just couldn't afford. I mean, a bespoke CRM system is ridiculously expensive, and then you put basketball in there, and we are the poor one. Dan bless him, just sat at home and wrote a whole system for us, which is just phenomenal.
I think that's what you see in a small business, though, isn't it? And Steve, we see it with clients as well, don't we? It's just it's you're not taking on a job, you're taking on a role and numerous roles and wearing numerous hats, kind of day to day, and having that agility and being able to multitask. And then I guess the other word that we hear so often is the word resilience. Because there is nowhere to hide.
That's right.
Absolutely
That's
not.
Right.
And as well as I do that, when you're running the business, actually unfortunately the most important thing is the bank account.
Cash is king.
Yeah, and what that statement says on a Monday morning is what dictates everything else. And but you don't want to be having that conversation with your staff on a daily basis. You've got to keep that away from everyone, if that makes sense, you know. But that feels like that's a big part of my life and a big.
We
part
always
of your
said this
life,
would be
isn't it?
incredible if we won the lottery.
Yeah.
Because it's not like we would go and find a beach or something. This would just be so much fun.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? It'd just be like we'd have an extension on the arena, we'd have some extra courts to be able to get more kids in the teams into basketball sessions, and then
we're two
it would
break.
just be incredible.
We're two growing break-even businesses, aren't we? We have to be break-even, and as you know, as you grow, your cash flow, the peaks and troughs exacerbate. We're learning that as we go along here, that that's why you have to be profitable, actually, as much as anything, to keep the cash flow moving. And that's hard to do in our environment because we're trying to do it at break even, and we're playing against teams now that have investors who are happy to lose money.
Right.
So for a period,
Yeah.
Which makes our model a little bit harder because we either have to do the same as them or grow quicker.
Yeah.
And we have just been through massive growth.
Yeah.
So
With the
obviously
building,
opening the arena, our turnover went from about 450 up to 1.9 million.
Yeah.
Which is massive, significant. And
That's the foundation.
and as Paul said, not the ideal staff base that you would have when you're running so many different areas of business as well, but we have to make do because we can't afford otherwise. If we did win the lottery, it would change overnight.
Yeah.
And often someone will look at that revenue line and think, wow, but actually there's other lines on the P&L
That's
below
right.
it, isn't there?
There's a lot of them.
Yeah.
Too many.
I mean, our biggest cost is payroll,
Yeah.
because we're delivering.
Yeah.
They're actually delivering.
So they're both very much people businesses. But that said, I mean, just again on that sort of lateral dimension, we've added the venue into that. So if you were to walk into the building right now, there's a company building a shell scheme on the floor for a big event that's...
That's right. United Wholesale is in.
Which is a catering...
Yeah, they're a F&B wholesale.
Yeah, so a big F&B catering event that's on tomorrow, which means where do the men's team train? We're in pre-season. Where do the women's team train? We're in pre-season.
Yeah.
The
Community
academies as well.
basketball, the academies.
Yeah.
So it's a must-have because those types of event are income generating to an extent that they're paying for the sport. Actually, they're helping to pay for the building, which then allows us to put more sport on in the building than we could otherwise.
Yeah.
85% of the floor space, the floor time in the building is for sport, and the 15% helps towards the 85 of that.
Well, I've got you.
Makes sense. 85 and 15. So.
And and it's roughly the other way around in terms of income. So community brings in about 15%, and the commercial brings in 85%.
Yeah. Close.
A lot of people say you shouldn't mix family and business. You guys,
I wholeheartedly agree.
Moving on.
you guys seem to do it
Next
quite
question.
well. What have you learned, and what
I'm gonna
tips have you got for people that
You say we do it well. Probably not if you speak to everyone else in our office.
externally you guys seem to do quite well?
We will have the odd sort of tit for tat in the office, and everybody
everyone
gets
just
under the
goes,
desk. They put the tin hats on, don't they?
Or they just quickly put their heads down and type away. But, yeah.
How do we deal with it? We kind of don't, in a way. We've tried periods of don't talk about work when we get home, and I'm the worst for that.
Yes.
It's impossible, isn't it?
Yeah, I just can't
Yes.
switch off. So
Yes.
so I'm the problem
Yes.
with that.
Yes.
100%.
Which I think is probably then come across to me where I'm really not very good at doing that now. I'm always checking my phone, and it's like I feel like I have to be constantly looking at stuff. Because you are a bit of a workaholic and always have been in a lot of ways.
Yeah, we need to. I need to improve in that area.
You're not going to ever improve in that area. I'm like, this is 20. How many years did you say? 29 seasons.
29, yeah, and we've been
It is what it is now.
together about the same amount of time, haven't we? So it's never going to be perfect. We're sharing an office as well. We've had times where
really
that's not been
bad.
possible.
We didn't before COVID.
Who's got the tidiest desk?
Me?
Ooh.
Oh, come on.
Paul's got 2 desks.
So bring the cameras down.
Tidy one and
Bring the cameras down.
I'm not sure about. I think I could take that today. I think I could.
Only because you've tidied up very recently.
Yeah, I could take that today. But yeah, we used to have a really big office for the foundation, and then we'd rejig things so we had an extra room to be able to put out, so you could hire it, just to try and bring some more money in to the business, which meant that we then had to share an office.
Yeah, so we find a way, but I mean,
we do.
Equally, it's not just that; it's 20 plus years, and there's not many people who stay in the same job for 20 plus years, regardless of working together for that length of time. So
I think it's not until you actually talk about it you realise it's been that long.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think that's just life, really, isn't it?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, the older you get, the quicker it gets.
Yeah.
But when you start talking about it and you start thinking about colleagues who aren't with us anymore, you know, you start to actually put those years together, and the history is quite amazing, really, isn't it? When you think it through.
and we've got the added benefit of that, or a part of that history is in press cuttings.
Yeah.
We can go back and look at some point in the future,
It's really cool.
or digital cuttings. Not so much press cuttings anymore.
But it has been an incredible journey. We quite often say to each other on different really bad days, would you do this again?
Like sliding doors.
It is like sliding doors, really. Yeah, it is. I think some days we'd say absolutely not, and then other days we'd say absolutely yes, depending on the day and what's kind of thrown, what curveball we get.
It's business, isn't it? It's always another curveball coming at you.
Yeah. And I think you said for how many years? Make your hobby your job.
First 20 years make your hobby your job. The last 10 years don't make your hobby your job. But, and I do think as well that we think all the difficult hurdles that we have to jump on a daily basis are just us, but they're not. You know, it happens in all businesses.
It does happen in all businesses.
All the
That's
time.
very true.
Yeah.
Very true. I think we can just feel isolated at times. That's all.
Yeah.
We feel a bit on our own, and that can be quite tough. Because, like you say, the book stops with you.
Yeah. I mean, some of it is because the limelight is not on the business; it's on the court, isn't it? I suppose, and that must be quite difficult to deal with.
Yeah, it's just sort of a little walk down the river from that. We look bigger than we are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't think, because we're in it. We're kind of in the eye of the storm. We don't think we look bigger. You said earlier that we're much better known in the region now than we were 20 years ago. We don't necessarily see that.
Yeah.
I kind of do when we ring. Like when you were ringing, I'm thinking like last summer, you were ringing for estate agents, and then
The really great thing is
6 degrees of separation has all of a sudden changed because of the community programme, and as you rightly say, the fact of our reputation, of how good the teams have been.
And the really, to your point with that one, the really good thing in that phone call is, I'm looking to rent a property for a player to stay for the season, and the person on the call says, "Oh, my next door neighbour's son plays on one of your teams," and that happens all the time now, isn't it? Different versions of that, which sort of that keeps us motivated.
Yeah, it does keep us motivated. Yeah,
to feel that we've had that sort of, that kind of impact.
Yeah. We've talked a lot about sort of the past and a little bit about the present. What's going to happen next? What's going to happen this season?
I'm trying to deal with today.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of performance on the court with the two teams, we are clearly starting to go further down that line of we're one of two teams in our league now that don't have investment. So I can feel that the clubs around us are starting to really strengthen.
Yeah.
They don't necessarily look like we do. Venues aren't as big, fan base might not be as big, but you can feel that happening, particularly London. I think London are really getting their act together, in terms of the size of the venue they're in and the audience space that they're now generating. But other clubs are really coming to the fore, like Sheffield, Manchester. So it's going to get harder.
Where's that investment coming from? Is it?
Well, we're clearly, as a basketball product in Europe, a direct target for US investors.
Right.
In the same way that US investors are at all levels of football now in the UK.
Yeah.
Some better known than others. We're an obvious route for them because it's extremely hard to invest in the NBA. They don't have a league system like we do.
Right.
There is the NBA G League, which is the support league to the NBA. And in terms of professional sports franchises, basketball-wise in the States, that's it. Because it drops to colleges. The college system feeds pro sport in the States. So you've got limited opportunity to invest in basketball in the States. You've actually got relatively limited opportunity to invest in other parts in the world because Barcelona aren't looking to sell shares necessarily, or Real Madrid aren't, or Panathinaikos, or Bayern Munich, or in basketball, they're not easy to enter properties. Right now, we could arguably say that we're an easy to enter property that can get access to European competition.
Yeah.
So we are, as a group of clubs, we are being looked at, and all of the other clubs in our league now have investment other than us and Leicester, and we're the two teams that historically are the most winning.
Okay.
Arguably the most developed. So it there's an inevitability in that. As and when it happens, I don't know, but we're just the captains of the ship right now, and there'll be a new captain at some point, and there was one before us, so that's just what happens with businesses anyway, isn't it? But particularly sports businesses change ownership at some point. I'm not saying that's happening this season or next season, but it will happen at some point.
I think someone said to us a few weeks ago, it was one thing that's for sure with business is it happens. That's it, isn't it?
Yeah, well, we can't do this for another 30 years. That's for sure. So, So, and from a competitive point of view, for the fans to, be able to see what they want to see in terms of competitive games and us winning, then like I said before, we either have to grow the business very quickly, and part and parcel of that, unfortunately, is in order to grow it, we've got to extend the venue or go and play somewhere else.
Yeah.
To get access to more seats, and that's going to take investment. So it just comes back to that.
Yeah, I was going to say that was my kind of answer. If you're kind of looking a bit further down the road, because it's certainly not an option at the moment, it is an extension. And at the moment, on a weekend with CVL and everything we're doing, academy, everything, we're full. So we actually can't fit more teams in. The 172 teams fills the building on a weekend. So in order to have more and benefit more young people, we need more courts.
Yeah.
So an ideal situation would be at least 2 courts to come in on the build. So then we'd be a 5-court build. If we won the lottery, I want like an extra 6, please.
Yeah.
And if it's built the right way, that would then allow us to put more seats in as well.
Yeah. And the impact of that, both on the basketball club, the community, but the region as well, it's huge, isn't it?
Yeah, so if you think we're at 172 teams now, we could be jumping up to 250 to 350. You can see how that can happen. 16.3% of young people play basketball on a weekly basis. We're number 2 team sport, number 5 sport of all sports.
And there's a calculator on Sport England's website that calculates social impact value, Wellbe calculator, and your figure's coming in at about 10 million.
Yeah, we contribute to £10 million on the Wellbe figure. On wellbeing and social impact. Yeah, which has taken a lot of people a lot of years to put together, and it's really hard work, really, really hard work. And that's kind of, I hope all of the coaches and volunteers the young people and their families feel really proud about that.
Yeah.
And it's not the norm. I was saying this morning. The young people and the families that are playing in the clubs, they see this and they think that this is replicated 20 miles down the road and 40 miles down the road, and so it's not. It's the biggest basketball community program in the country by a long way. It's the exception, it's not the rule.
We touched on it earlier, briefly, the women's team as well.
Yes.
Just talk a little bit around what's happening there.
Yes, obviously we've just, along with yourselves, your good selves, and some other partners in the region, headed up by Sophie Milliken, who I had a chat with during the summer. We've just set the W Club up in an attempt to try and bring together more business people with an aim to support a women's sport, a women's team sport. All women's team sport needs support, because commercially women's team sport's been left on the shelf for decades, and we're playing catch up. Essentially, we're all playing catch up. So we're very proud to be running a women's team. I had the team welcome meeting this morning, actually. Ironically, the team's all in now. In a funny way, it's actually the same model that we're trying to make work and grow as we did 25 years ago with the men when we started out with the men. It's no different. It's harder. It's got different challenges. The challenges are down to simple cultural acceptance of people paying to watch women's team sport in the first place.
Okay.
Whereas in men's team sport, there's already a cultural acceptance. Or there already was in other sports. So it's tough, but and it's got to break even. And there's a lot of talk in if you see in different sports across the world about parity of salaries between men's and women's team sports. Ultimately, for us, the finance dictates. So we can only spend. We don't have an investor. Back to that. We can only spend what we bring in.
Yeah.
And that's exactly the conversation that I've had with the team this morning. Our goal is to grow that. Year on year, grow it, work really hard, try and build the audience base. It's a great product. I really totally believe that.
Women's game's amazing.
Yeah,
it's so good.
We're there working partly anyway, but we would go. We would go regardless.
Yeah,
it's a great night out.
Brilliant. It's I like it because I personally think it's far more aggressive in a lot of ways, the women's game.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it really is. So and I would argue, and I probably need to cut this piece out. They might actually be better shooters than the guys.
Yes, of course. But we do have a lot of young girls that come to the games, and particularly with their dads, which I really have. I love that. Yeah. I love the fact it's kind of, that family night out, sharing something really special together. Yeah. And bonding, because you need to have bonding time as families. And it is just an awesome night, really awesome.
So the point of launching the W Club during the summer was really a call out to say, right, we need to kick this on. It's not a given that we do this. It's it can't lose money, and if it does, it puts the whole business at risk. So, but it's something we must do. We don't get any support, as Sam's already said, from either of our federations towards the development of women's sport. There's nothing coming, so we're doing it entrepreneurially. Chloe is head coach. Chloe Gaynor is working her socks off, running a big educational program alongside with the women's team, alongside obviously head coaching the team and playing. So she's actually doing a lot of the stuff that. If you know the name Fab, Fab did everything, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
For 18 years, player coach, aggressively out in the community.
Yeah.
our number one sales guy really for a long time, and very successful as well. So Chloe's got a lot of that.
She does.
Yeah, they again, it's multitasking, isn't it?
It is. Well, that's another one to add to that lateral list. It's just repeat. It's almost a rinse and repeat of the model that we put in place with the men 25 plus years ago. We know what we need to do, and we know it's going to take some time, but we just got to stick with it because we should do it.
Yeah. I think with anything, it's like marketing and, the W Club, the Northeast region of businesses, there'll be FOMO, it's kind of fear of missing out, and that it'll gather momentum, and
I really hope so.
That's what
hopefully.
I really hope so.
Because every penny is going into the team, every last penny. We're all trying to do what we can to keep it moving forward.
Yeah.
I guess we've talked a lot about different tips and different bits of advice there for businesses, for clubs. What would be a one key tip or takeaway for someone listening?
Do you want to go first?
Put you on the spot there.
Key tip. Well, it's back to resilience, isn't it? Passion. You have to be passionate about the business you're in. You absolutely. It's not going to.
I think if you're doing this 100%.
Yeah.
I think other jobs not so much.
I
think it depends on how you treat it, isn't it? If it's a job or if it's not. And I think a lot of people just want to go to work and come back, and there's nothing wrong with that. After all these years, I think I probably really understand that.
and it's also
especially jobs where you're not, you can go on holiday and you're not taking your laptop with you. I actually really respect that now. My drivers were very different when I was younger. But yeah, so I guess it depends on personalities, really, doesn't it?
Yeah, and you have to be passionate about it. You have to be passionate about sport to be in sport, because this essentially is not. It's not a profit motivated business. Essentially, it is, but you know what's going to happen is if you make a surplus in a given year, the team budget's going up.
Yeah.
So it's not coming out of the business.
No.
That just doesn't happen in what we do, right to the top. Even the majority of the Premier League clubs. So in football, so it's strange. I've never run ultimately a profit motivated business.
Yeah.
If I really look into it.
Yeah.
Because I know essentially that's not going to happen.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
But it's got to break even at the same time.
Yeah. It's got to wash its face.
Yeah. Resilience, anyway, is the answer to the question.
I think it is resilience. I think it is resilience. Yeah. I think the one thing I'm certainly trying to work on at the minute, and I think I have been for a few years, is empowering others as well.
Yes.
I think we kind of, I think because of the old age we're getting to, I think we've kind of really understood you have to empower others around you. So when the time is right, you actually have a team there who are ready to go. And you haven't, if anything happened to us in the nicest possible way, which, you never know when you're out, we wouldn't have to worry about things. We know it's going to be okay. There's there's generations behind us who want to take this forward.
Yeah.
So we've gone from lead by example.
Yes.
Which actually equals micromanaging.
Yes.
Yeah. Right. To talking to each other to say we cannot micromanage anymore, even though we feel guilty about not micromanaging.
Yeah.
True.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, it totally does. Yeah, I've been there myself. Steve, same. Yeah.
So
And because you know
step
every
in.
aspect of your business, it's really hard to pull yourself back.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're trying to get better at that. I think we are, and actually, the next tier of staff are also micromanagers.
Yeah.
So we're trying to teach ourselves and teach them that you can't do that.
Yeah.
Because the next tier down from you are seeing that,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and it's got to stop at some point. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I think right now for me personally, it's all about empowerment and trying to manage better. I think is the
Planning,
answer.
better planning. That's the buzzword in the office at the moment, isn't it?
Better
Planning. It's
planning.
planning written on the wall, just in big words. Planning.
Oh, that's great. thank you both. That was brilliant.
Thanks for the opportunity.
Thoroughly enjoyed that conversation, and thanks for joining myself and Steve today and telling us all about that journey. And yeah, I'll see you at the next game.
Yay.
Thank you.